Hello everyone, welcome to Sunburned, Albino plays Ace Attorney Trilogy, episode 58. We're still trying to figure a bunch of crap out. Got like 3 different sets of cyclogs to do. Just got done talking to you, so we now have to go somewhere else. Now you have a 4-way cyclog. I wonder if I can present to you this autograph. No. Yeah, no, it's fine. I don't know where to go from here. What if we go back to... Oh yeah, Criminal Affairs Department, let's do that.
It doesn't look like Mr. Scruffy Detective is here.
Great, now even Pearls is calling him Scruffy. Thanks, Francisca. They said something about an investigation briefing earlier, right? Why don't we come back and try again later when they're done?
Okay, I guess that's all we can do, right, Mr. Nick?
God, this was nothing! Can we go back here? What can you tell me about some of the stuff I've presented? What can you tell me about this? Dude, I know I like to throw money around, but it's not like I buy anything and everything. No, okay, no, it's fine. What do you know about this? Oh, here we go. What do you think about this article? If you're talking about her thing with Juan, I always thought she was a bit careless in the way she handled it. And that's it? That's it? Interesting. Do you know about the crime photo? No, you don't know about the crime photo. Do you know about the wine glass? Do you know about guitar case? Do you know about Lotta's camera? You know about this radio transceiver? We already did that. You know about the press conference ticket? Dude, like I told you, I don't know anything about that press conference. I leave that kind of stuff to my manager. Then maybe we should have presented the manager with this press conference ticket. Let's do that. I really hate how, like, these areas are segmented. Like, you should just be able to go to wherever you want to go from anywhere. I don't understand the segregation, you know? It's so un-American. Okay, back to the hallway. Back to On Guard's room. Hello, please tell me more about this press conference ticket. You were the one taking care of the arrangements for this press conference, right? Yes, that's right.
But Mr. On Guard said he didn't know about it.
Is that what he said?
Huh?
Actually, I didn't know all the details either. It was a request from the publicity department. All I did was help out and do what I was asked.
Oh, I see.
I wonder about that. I wouldn't take her to be the type of person to do something without knowing the details. Indeed. Well, that wasn't gonna open up anything for me. And there's nothing else to do with you. Do you know about this transceiver? No. Okay, do you know about the camera? You don't know about the camera. Tell me about the guitar case. Do you know anything about... You don't care about this evidence and stuff? Tell me about this autograph. Tell me about this magazine clipping, that's right. Oh, it's gonna be a cyclog type of thing. Crap. Oh yeah, how about my attorney's badge? No, alright then. Oh, but wait! What about a profile? Do we have any more profiles? Tell me about yourself. I hate talking about myself. It's a trifling matter, that's why. Sorry. Take away that layer of sarcasm and she really does seem to hate herself. Interesting. No. We've already asked you about all these people. At least everybody who's gonna matter. What do you know about some of these other people? Do you know anything...
Huh? I told you how many times now, I'm a journalist. I got so much info running laps in my head, I forget things here and there. Please don't get so worked up over this.
Ha! I don't care if you beg me.
Be extra tough on kids. That's this gal's motto on learning youngsters. This old granny? She kept on glaring at me with those eyes of hers, as if it's my fault. Kept babbling how she won't forgive people who write trash about her wand. Oh yeah, we sorta got into a little fight, you know? A little fight? Knowing those two, it was probably more of a blabbering contest. Don't really care for them heroes or whatnot. Oh, I see. And shows they got for kids, those adventures are just plain old boring. Now, adults, we get more caught up in messy, sticky, real situations. Even me. Oh. Sounds like the tyke's getting what I'm going with this. Wait a sec here. Don't go around getting her mixed up in things like that. Same thing. Tell me about... You'd probably say the same thing about powers, wouldn't you? No? What about Gumshoe? She doesn't know anything. Let's go back to On Guard's room. Or, no. Let's go back to Corrida's room. Is Francisca still there? No, she left. And when she left, we got the little autograph thing from the table. Nothing else was left to examine. I don't know where this chick's camera is. But let's at least try and see if, like, there's anything we could know. Perhaps. I mean, it seems like she's the first one we should break. Hers is the least amount of locks. Lotta, will you please answer my questions? On the night of the murder, why were you loitering around the victim's room? I told you, didn't I, for my scoop? What I want to know about are the details of this scoop. That's not something I can tell you. I mean, that there is my bread and butter. Alright then, an unpleasant tabloid photographer looking for a scoop. I'm gonna say that you were looking into a scandal. Ooh. Perhaps it was the manager scandal with the love stuff. Could it be that you, Lotta Hart, were looking for a break with a huge story? Perhaps an unfolding scandal between Juan Corrida and this person? Ooh. This woman, she's Adrian Andrews, Matt On Guard's manager. The Nickel Samurai's manager caught secretly meeting with his rival, the Jammin' Ninja. It would be the hottest story of the season, wouldn't it? You're pretty good at this guessing thing, Mr. Lawyer. But you can't just make up any old thing and think it'll make the papers. You gotta have backup. Backup? Yeah, you gotta have that, what's it, news source? You mean news source? That's it. So show me something that shows that one guy had something with Miss Andrews. Well, that would be this tabloid magazine clipping. This is the article from a certain weekly tabloid. Jammin' Midnight Rendezvous to the mysterious yet beautiful manager to the stars, Miss A.A. Mr. Corrida didn't have a manager of his own. What's more, his rival, Mr. On Guard's manager, Adrian Andrews, she has the initials AA. You saw this article and then thought to take some pictures of them as proof. That's why you were looking around Mr. Corrida's door last night. Finally, maybe now we can get somewhere with the other stuff. Okay, tell me about this big scoop now. You were looking into Mr. Corrida and Miss Andrews' affair, weren't you? You got it. I was gonna get myself a scoop by catching them in a secret meeting. But there's already an article about it in one of the weekly tabloid magazines. It's no longer breaking news. What'd you just say? Her initials are AA. What kind of vague thing is that? That ain't no proof of nothing. People are gonna want to see real proof. Well, at least I do. So that's what I was doing. Getting photos. Oh. I'm gonna whip up the reader's interest with some gossip and a little misleading. Then spice it up a little and have myself an exclusive story. Wow, Lotta, nice journalistic integrity you got there. I already finished writing up my spicy article, you know? But... The paper I wrote it on, my note to myself, it's gone.
Your note to yourself?
It was inside the case of my $1,600 camera. They done run off together. I came here for my big story. Didn't come here to have my treasure disappear on me.
Yeah, I understand.
It's enough to make a gal go bonkers, I tell you. What's with people now anyway? Never thought I'd see the day when someone done steal something from me.
You really want that note back, huh? I've got no idea why, though. The story on that note is probably a bold-faced lie. Tabloid article about the victim was in the case, okay.
I mean, that's all well and good, but now we don't really have anything still. Okay, so if we imagine that the Andrews person has 4 Cyclocks, one of them is probably going to be... Maybe she stole the camera. She stole the camera, then maybe Lotta's camera is one of them. If we operate on that assumption, then another one would be magazine clipping, again, probably. And... autograph probably isn't something. Autograph, that's probably something for Wendy's. Assuredly, in fact. Though I wonder if she knows about this radio transceiver. I don't know, we could, like, go for it. Okay, so this Lotta's camera, stolen the night of the murder, tabloid article about the victim was in the case. This doesn't help me in anyone else's, like, immediate stuff. So I think we'll go talk to Andrews again and give her a little look-see in the, Although maybe now that we have that, maybe new stuff has happened in different people's rooms. So let's go back to Viola. Let's just kind of move through all the areas again. Nothing at the Criminal Affairs Department still, huh? Okay. So that wasn't like, you know, a checkpoint for us or nothing. Well, back to On Guard's hotel room it is. You wouldn't happen to know anything about this updated camera, would you? No, you would not. Okay, well, let's just present the Magatama and see where we get. Like, even if we don't have what we need, maybe the question itself could reveal some sort of clue, you know? You know, I definitely think that we have to do you before we do Old Bag, because Old Bag is the actual witness. Assuming that she even witnessed anything. Why was Juan Corrida murdered? If you ask me, I think you know the reason he was killed. Why are you hiding things? Don't you realize you're putting Mr. On Guard's life in danger by your actions? Why do you ask questions for which I have no answers? The truth is, I was not that close to Mr. Corrida. You were not that close. That's right. I've never been good at being intimate with another person. You are not good at being intimate with another person? Somehow I highly doubt that. Now I'm starting to think we have to find the camera first, which will have some kind of tabloid shot of her. You and Mr. Corrida had an intimate relationship, did you not? A silly third-rate tabloid article. If you even had half your wits about you, you wouldn't believe such rubbish. Well, it seems quite a few people have already bought into this story. As to be expected in a world filled with crooks and liars. Note to self, stay on her good side. In any case, I despise interpersonal relationships like that. I see. However, what if there was a need for you to get close to someone? Me, need to get close to Mr. Corrida, as if there was ever such a need. Didn't you get close to Mr. Corrida for this person's sake? Alright, so this is a guess now. You would imagine that it would be Matt on Guard. I'm not gonna guess, but like... It's either Matt on Guard or it's Will Powers. Since, like, she seems to know him. Will Powers, at least. Let's just try this. Do you really still not understand? What? It's not in my nature to enjoy doing things for others. But you're a manager. Damn. Alright, so we don't know. Bang, 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 bang. So we have to figure out for whom would she try and get close to Mr. Kurita? Which means there is some kind of purpose to those meetups. Regardless from some intimate whatevers. There is actually a need, but I wouldn't know what it is. So now that... Do you know where your damn camera is? And I just bought that camera. Who did it? Thieving rascal? Please don't look straight at me while you're saying that. When I find the bugger, okay, you already said all that. That's fine. Just thought maybe since it was updated, you could tell me more about what's on the camera. You were worthless. You were absolutely useless. Thank you for that. Did your Cyclops and it meant nothing. Back to Viola Hall. Hey, Will, I'm gonna need you to tell me more things. You don't know about her camera. You know about this radio transceiver? I can't believe it. A kidnapping. Do you remember what the person looked like who gave this to you? It was that bellboy. And I didn't suspect a thing because he looked like such a normal old man. Old man, huh? I'm sorry, what do you have to do with this transceiver? Oh, are you the one who gave it to me from the other person? I think it might be. Well, that didn't help me anyway. Okay. And that didn't unlock anybody. We still don't have the killer as a profile, even though we've seen him. Tell me about Security Lady. I never would have thought I'd see her here of all places. The last time we saw each other was during that really bad incident. You know, I mean, when I look back now, I think of the good things, so it's not so bad, I guess. Yeah, I would love to go back in time and relive a few of those good things. That's not funny. Yeah, I guess not. Alright. We already did the article. You're the one who gave me this article, aren't you? Yeah, I guess it doesn't matter. Tell me about this autograph. No, you don't know about this autograph neither. Tell me about this crime photo. You didn't want to see that. So you're also done. Alright, look. We have, like, one guaranteed in on this Cyclops. Which is the autograph. I didn't mean to do that. So let's just sort of get a little more insight on what information we need to find. Alright, I'll be honest with you for now. Then please, tell us what you saw. But aw, what a waste. And here I have a perfectly good chance to have a little fun at you youngins' expense. I am a little devil after all. Doesn't that imply you aren't a good person? Alright, I'll give you what you want. I assume this is what she wants. That's Juan's autograph! Yes, it is. And it even says "to my dearest Wendy" on it. That's me, right? Right? Did you not have it personally signed to her? Or him? My name is Wendy Oldbag, so that Wendy has to be me, right? Well, it may say Wendy, but somehow I don't think Juan had this Wendy in mind when he signed it. Oh, please give it to me. Let me have it, please. I can't let you have it just like that. Yes, I know. Then how about an exchange? Oh, wow, okay. Wow, she must really want this autograph. Way to fucking game me. Jesus. My offer isn't good enough for you? Fine, Mr. Right, you win. Wendy Oldbag, ready to open up her heart, all for my dearest one. Are you fucking joking? That's all I had to do? Wow. Autograph given to Wendy Dearest. I feel bad for you now. Huh? I tell ya, I saw him that night. I saw him coming out of Juan's room. You're kidding. Oh no! It was about 10 minutes before Juan's body was discovered. It was just a coincidence. I was on my way to the toilet, minding my own business. And did you tell that to the police? Well, of course. I thought I could get a gift certificate or two out of it, maybe more. Gift certificate? I've been recruited again for that part at the trial. You know, the trial tomorrow. This time, you're gonna get it. I'm gonna work hard to get your client pronounced guilty. But Mr. On Guard hasn't done anything bad. I don't care about details like that. I know he did my dear poor Juan in, I just do. That yellow-bellied chicken. A yellow-bellied chicken? I wonder what that would look like. I trust my senses. I know when someone did something bad, and I say he did it. What did Mr. On Guard ever do to her to deserve this? What did Mr. On Guard do to you to make you so... You don't know? That guy, he framed my Juan! He created that scandal that plagued poor Juan. Mr. Nick! What is it? What's a scandal? Oh, I'll tell you about that after we get home, okay? Poor Juan, led astray by the wiles of that vile temptress. Mr. Nick, what do vials and wild temptress mean? How about we just listen to what Miss Oldbag has to say for now, okay, Pearls? So, Miss Oldbag, who is this woman you're talking about? Adrian Andrews, of course. Who else? That guy, he shoved the girl onto Juan on purpose. His own manager? But why? I thought lawyers were smart. It was to create a scandal to make Juan lose face. That girl drove Juan into a scandal that dragged his reputation through the mud. Sounds like a pretty standard definition of a scandal to me. Why do you know about that anyway, Miss Oldbag? I'm one of Juan's biggest fans. I'm always out there gathering information. There's nothing I don't know. And do you have proof that Mr. On Guard did what you say he did? Next week's issue of a certain magazine says so. Of course, a tabloid. Next week? Doesn't that mean it's something people don't know about yet? Why would Miss Oldbag have information like that? And where did she get it? Hee 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 hee. Oh, she stole Lotta's camera. That's how. Oh, damn. Okay. Well, how about this? I don't have anything to say to delinquents like you. Oh, damn. Okay, so she stole it. Definitely. Tell me about this magazine clipping, no? It was a tabloid-related thing, so whatever. Let's go back to the hall, then. Back to Lotta! Hey, guess what? I know who stole your camera. It's old Granny? Is she kept... Yeah. Kept babbling, yep. Got into a little fight, yeah. But you're not gonna... I know she took it. 100% she took it. You had to do it. So we just learned that Matt pushed Adrian to do whatever. Or at least that's what she said. That's what the tabloid said. But I guess we don't have the evidence that would conclude that yet. Even though we guessed correctly on the last thing. Dude, is there anything on your computer? You would have thought there would be something. Can we go
to the Criminal Affairs Department now. Because I'd really enjoy that. Thank you! Always moving things right along. Detective Gumshoe said they had an investigation briefing.
Yeah. Oh, he's back!
Hey, so you came, pal?
Why the blunt greeting?
Because there's nothing to be friendly or happy about.
What do you mean by that?
Well, things look perfect this time around. The evidence and testimony are airtight.
But we can't just roll over and die. We have to stay positive. So what do you mean the evidence is airtight?
I can't give you all the details, pal, but there's 2 big pieces.
2?
And both of them are in this photo. Oh, here we go. Oh, the same photo, never mind. The first is the button that's missing from the victim's chest.
Oh, that's a giant button. That's what you meant. Okay. That's the button that you found during your body search of Mr. On Guard.
Yep, I found it in the folds of the Nickel Samurai's special pants.
Why would anybody take a button and just put it in their pants? What the fuck kind of MO is that? Like, ooh, he's the button pants taker person. And the second one is...
the knife in his chest, pal. The fingerprints on the knife in his chest, to be exact.
Fingerprints? Whose are they?
You didn't even have to ask, little missy. It's obvious. They're Matt on Guard's.
Tomorrow's trial. Talk about being stuck between a rock and a hard place. So what about this airtight testimony?
It's that old security lady, Miss Oldbag.
I thought so.
What do you mean, you thought so? Did she tell you something, pal?
Well...
And I even told her not to open that mouth of hers and blab to anyone.
Her blab knob is stuck on 10, and there's no turning it down, trust me.
Yeah, well, Miss Oldbag saw it all, pal. She saw Mr. On Guard come out of the victim's room around the estimated time of death.
No way!
Well, that's great and all. Do you know about this camera? If I'm caught leaking info to you here in the precinct, my neck's gonna be in the ringer, pal.
Your neck? No!
I mean my neck is a joke, but yeah, ask me about things that have to do with the case only, alright, pal?
This is the case, so I don't know what you're talking about. We already asked you about the guitar case. What can you tell me about this guitar case? It's just a signature. Yeah, whatever. And they already did that.
You look at this photo and you can't help it. It makes you want to say, I can't believe this is the scene of a murder.
Stabbed with a knife after a struggle. A clue is sleeping in this photo somewhere, I know it.
Okay.
Well, if we look at it, he's missing a button, the knife is like barely in his chest, also he's wearing like armor and shit. Although, you know, it seems like it's just like cloth and like, you know, fishnet. So, probably not a lot of resistance there. Still though, like, that's just... the knife can't be more than like half an inch in his body. Like, that wouldn't kill anybody. Don't understand it, man. And then there's tomato juice, for some reason. Broken flowers. Empty guitar case. An open guitar case. Which has water on the lid, but not inside it, which is weird because the case is open. So, like, why was that the case? A pun. I don't know. Dude, you got nothing for me. Tell me about Adrian.
There's something interesting about this woman, pal.
And what is that?
You don't know? Haven't you heard the gossip about her?
Gossip, huh? I wonder if he knows anything about that article. Oh, okay.
We're pretty interested in this bit of gossip ourselves.
The scandal with Mr. Kurita? But why?
Well, 2 years ago, a woman committed suicide.
Suicide?
Her name was Celeste Inpax. And she was Juan Kurita's manager.
The victim's manager?
But that's not all, pal.
Miss Impax was Miss Adrian Andrews' mentor. She taught Miss Andrews everything she knew about the business from square one. Her mentor? A woman who was both Mr. Kurita's manager and Miss Andrews' mentor. Could her suicide have something to do with this case? Okay, so that's how we get past that next Cyclock then. She had to do it for her. Do you want to know more about her, pal? Yes, please. She was the victim's manager and was also Miss Adrian Andrews' mentor. It's been 2 years since her suicide, and now those two are linked again by another death. Or maybe it's just a coincidence, but... Wah! I'm getting sick of dealing with one foolish idiot after another. Miss Von Karma, you can't seem to stop allying yourself with the enemy, can you? I don't need a traitor in my midst. You don't mean... I do, Scruffy. You have 30 minutes to get out of here. You are no longer needed. Goodbye. That's... Wait. Please wait, sir. If I don't get this month's pay, I'll starve. Quiet! If it weren't for traitors like you... I would have won. Is that what you want to say? Huh? Who? That voice. Yeah, it was pretty obvious. Edgeworth! It's been a long time, right? This person? This is Mr. Edgeworth? What am I going to do with you? Still blaming others when things go wrong? You haven't changed a bit, Francisca. You... How dare you show your face to me without a shred of shame upon it? You've soiled the Von Karma name, dragged it through the mud. You even ran away with your tail between your legs like the ill-bred dog you are! Are you talking about the Von Karma family creed? To be perfect in every way? Then let's hear it, Francisca. How are things going? I hear you are having a rough time maintaining perfection in this country. You seem to be getting crushed under the weight of it all. That's why I came back. Keep your assumptions to yourself. I haven't given in yet. I won't lose. This case is mine. I'll never hand it over to you. Never. Mr. Phoenix Wright, I will see you tomorrow in court. It will be a clinical lesson on the meaning of total victory. Still the same wild mare she always was. I thought you, the prosecutor Miles Edgeworth, had gone and died. Mr. Nick? I never wanted to see you again. I think that's enough of a warm welcome for someone you haven't seen in a year. Are you going to run tomorrow's trial? You heard her, right? That wild mare hasn't given in yet, it seems. So no, I don't think I'll be making an appearance. Your hatred for me is quite unhealthy, not to mention one-sided. But I will say one thing. You can't win on your own at the trial tomorrow. What is that supposed to mean? I have something definitive that you lack. And working together is the definition of teamwork. It's the power to find the truth. The truth? In order to understand this case, you have to understand a certain truth. Well, if you ever feel the need for my assistance, it is available to you. I'm not in charge of this case, so I can be a bit more generous with information. Just what is going on inside his head? A lot of things may have happened, however, Manfred Von Karma was still my mentor, and a perfect win record is proof of a Von Karma. 1 year ago, you could not establish guilt in a few cases. Are those losses the reason you suddenly disappeared from the prosecutor's office? Did you leave because you had lost your perfect win record? To think your motivation for prosecuting trials was so selfish. It had been better for everyone if you never came back from the dead, Edgeworth. I see. Then let me ask you something. Why do you stand in the courtroom? What is your reason? Well, with Francisca, she almost always says, "I will defeat you this time," the instant she sees me. But the courtroom is not a personal battlefield for prosecutors and lawyers. I stand in the courtroom to defend my client, to save their lives. To save your client, you say? Those who think only of their own ego-driven goals, those kind of prosecutors are reprehensible to me, even if you're a prodigy, or someone like you, Edgeworth. It looks like there is still a lot you have yet to learn. A lot I have yet to learn? Me? Well, that's enough for now. The time when you will see is coming soon enough. Oh my god, Edgeworth's back! Talk to me about all these cases. I have no interest in talking about useless evidence. Put a little more thought into what you show me, Phoenix Wright. Still as stuck up as ever.
Oh yeah, the crime photo's useless evidence, alright. Really, you don't want to know about, like, Maya's whole thing either, huh? Jeez. Nothing. What if I show you people, then?
We are looking into leads, but we can only look into a few key players with our limited resources. There's no reason for us to waste our energy investigating this person.
Why don't you just tell it to me straight and say I don't have any info?
Adrian Andrews. She holds a large secret within herself.
A secret?
You can't help but feel that this whole case revolves around her. While I was abroad, these deplorable types of actors became popular, I take it.
Well, refreshing like a spring breeze is his motto.
Refreshing? And what is so refreshing about a spring breeze?
Sounds like the pollen is not treating him well this year.
There is an interesting rumor about this man.
You mean the one about Miss Andrews getting close to him? But that's pretty common tabloid fare, isn't it?
I don't take things at face value when there's more to be found.
Oh yeah, don't have anything to say about Gumshoe, your biggest ally. That's cool. You got nothing to say about Maya either. There's nothing else to... You didn't give me anything, man. You gave me absolutely nothing. You know, I kind of hoped you would have more info on Adrian so we could, Oh ho! Here, that's right. Okay, we got more stuff. Tell me about yourself. There's no need for us to investigate this person, points to mirror.
This woman is another key to solving this case.
Do you really think so?
She was Adrian Andrews' mentor a long time ago, but she was suddenly called away by a different show and became Juan Corrida's manager. And then, a few months later, Celeste Impax died.
But her death was ruled a suicide, right?
Yes, but there is still one riddle we've yet to solve.
A riddle?
Her suicide note. It went missing. No one could find it.
A suicide note that just vanished, huh? Damn. Do you have more to say about that? Okay, here we go.
Miss Impax's death was most certainly a suicide. Of that there is no mistake. However, we could not find her suicide note. That's when the police began to suspect that someone had hidden it.
The suicide note? But how do you know Miss Impax had even written such a note?
There was no solid evidence, however. We did find traces of ink on her right index finger, which makes the likelihood of a suicide note very high.
But who would hide such a thing?
The police think it was Mr. Juan Corrida himself.
The victim?
He was the one who found her body, which makes him the only person who had a chance to hide her suicide note.
Mr. Corrida hid his own manager's suicide note. But why?
As long as her note is missing, any speculation beyond this is meaningless. For now, I think you should look this over. This is the suicide report. Part 1, anyway.
Part 1? Was her suicide note hidden? Undoubtedly. If it had something to do with him, if he was the reason for it.
I don't like to look through reports. I like suicide reports even less. Worst of all are the reports that have multiple parts, like that one, that has 2.
2 parts?
What you just handed me is the first part of the report. Here is the second part.
The second part of the report is about an attempt at... Why wouldn't you just give me both of them at the same time, brah?
The attempter's name. It's Adrian Andrews. Miss Andrews? What did she do? She tried to kill herself? She doesn't seem like the kind of person to try to kill herself, though. You think she's a strong career woman? That's just what she wants you to think. Adrian Andrews. She has a certain secret she's always trying to hide. A secret? Her dependent nature. That's what she's really like on the inside. Miss Andrews, dependent? Talk about the exact opposite of what that woman is. Let's take a look at it. Or not. Okay, never mind then. Oh, dependent nature, okay. What's this about Miss Andrews having a dependent nature? Adrian Andrews' attempted suicide was a few days after the death of Celeste Impax. And? And why did Adrian Andrews think about committing suicide? Because she had apparently lost her will to live. Lost her will? But why would she? Her pillar of strength, her mentor Celeste Impax, was gone forever. That's why. Why would that... Is this what they call following someone to the grave? After her attempted suicide, Adrian Andrews started attending counseling sessions. She is someone who needs a person in whom she can trust absolutely, and once she finds that person, she'll do anything she can to keep them near. Without such an anchor in her life, her crippling anxiety stifles her ability to live. And that's the nature of her dependency on others? When Celeste Impax suddenly committed suicide, the world before her turned pitch dark. That's according to Adrian Andrews herself. Then that means her super confident attitude, it's all a facade. She's only copying her mentor's behavior to hold herself together. How terrible. Alright. Now can we, like, look at actual reports? They don't have anything to actually say? Well, this does seem like everything we need. So, let's go... You know, it's not in the episode yet. We'll probably... The trial probably is, like, right after this, so... We could finish this investigation in the next, like, 5 or 10 minutes. And then end the episode and then go right to a trial. Which we have to do on the first day, which means it's gonna be an insanely long trial, probably. If I had to guess. Because it's not like we have any less evidence to work with. Gotta go through the whole thing in one motion. You better still be here. Oh, Miss Andrews is here, thank God. But it looks like she's talking with someone. That's Franziska von Karma. Miss von Karma? What are you doing here? Well, you see, I'm his lawyer, so... You've got some nerve following me around. Following you? That's you, Miss von Karma. You're the one doing the following. Pearls. You're always following after that Mr. Detective with the little beard. Me? Following after Scruffy? Don't make me laugh. Let me show you something interesting, little girl. Beep, 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 beep. What is that? An electromagnetic receiver. I planted a tracking device on that detective. And with this, I know that fool's every move. So that noise we heard was this receiver. I feel really sorry for poor Detective Gumshoe now. Now then, let's stop wasting time. Adrian Andrews. Yes? Think hard about what we just discussed. Understood? Alright. What were those two talking about? Miss Andrews, she seems a little dazed, doesn't she? I mean, we should still be able to do this thing. Although maybe the fact that Old Bags was so easy means that this one's gonna be extra hard now.
Why was Juan Corrida murdered? If you ask me, you know the reason. Why are you hiding things? Don't you realize? Why do you quest? But truth is, I was not that close. Okay, right. So we had the tabloid article to get rid of this one. Yeah, whatever. You needed to get close for this person's sake, and that person is Celeste Impax. Celeste Impax, your mentor. How do you know about Celeste? Miss Impax, she committed suicide, didn't she? But it looks like no one knows why. Right before her death, she was Juan Corrida's manager. So I believe you got close to Mr. Corrida so you could find out more about her suicide. You have a great imagination. You may have a future yet as a slimy muckraker for a putrid third-rate tabloid. Miss Andrews? There was no mystery surrounding her death. None. It would be pointless for me to force myself into a relationship for nothing. Is that really true? Was there really no mystery at all? I don't believe you were completely at ease with the way her suicide was resolved. Okay, now the question is, which report is it? Either we do this report, because this demonstrates why someone wouldn't be at ease with the way her suicide was resolved, or we do this report which proves that she wasn't at ease with the way it was resolved because she killed herself. Please don't screw me. I'm going for the first one. Miss Impax's suicide note was never found, was it? It looks like the police were under the suspicion that someone had hidden it. Like maybe the person who discovered her body, Mr. Corrida. Juan? Imagine, like, saying something like, was it Juan? And Miss Andrews, I believe you thought the same thing. That is why you became intimate with Mr. Corrida. I've sat by quietly and listened to your insulting ramblings long enough. It's true that Celeste was my mentor. However, allow me to say this again. It had nothing to do with me. I didn't even know that her suicide note was never found. I'm a person who doesn't care about what goes on in the lives of others. That's the impression you like to give. However, I don't think that's who you really are. What? I have evidence that says otherwise. This is proof that Celeste Impax was someone very special to you. Miss Andrews, you nearly went through with it too, didn't you? Went through with what? Ending your life. Miss Andrews, you look and act like a very strong woman who has it all together. You don't ask for anyone's help, relying only on yourself. Yes, I've been very independent ever since I can remember. However, that is all just a lie, a facade. You've always searched out people on whom you can depend on. You were dependent on Miss Impax, weren't you? Which is why, when she passed away, you lost everything you had. Stop! When Celeste passed away so suddenly like that, I died a death of my own. But no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't stop thinking about what had become of her note. You must have heard about the police report. The one that said the police suspected Mr. Corrida of hiding Miss Impax's note. You heard about it and thought to recover it from him by getting close, am I right? If that's the case, then everything changes. I mean, you would destroy the note if you didn't want anyone to see it. You would literally just throw it in a fire, it would be gone in 5 minutes, and then there would be nothing to hide anymore. As opposed to just like, oh, let me put this in my personal safe under lock and key or whatever he would do, where like this thing could come out. What do you mean? What topic did we start this conversation on again? It was why was the victim killed? Exactly. Somehow, Miss Andrews, it seems that you have become the one with a reason to want Mr. Corrida dead. Me? Miss Impax was everything to you. And then she died. And you would do anything to find out why she killed herself. Even commit murder. Murder?!
It's true. I am a woman who can only live in insecurity. I'm physically small, and I don't really have a lot of self-confidence. I've pushed against all that, though. I've tried to live strongly. I never wanted anyone to find out the truth. Miss Andrews... This one thing. It's the one thing I wanted to take with me to the grave. It was my secret. Mine and mine alone. I'm sorry. You probably think I'm a worthless human being right now, don't you? Please, Miss Andrews, all I want to know is the truth. After Celeste passed away, I heard that someone had hidden her suicide note. And that someone was Juan Carita. Celeste. Without her, I became scared. Everyone seemed like they were out to get me. So you got close to Mr. Carita to recover her suicide note, correct? Looks like that tabloid reported the truth after all. Ironic, isn't it? Well, like they say, where there's smoke, there's fire. And if they purposely add fuel to the fire, they keep the celebrity world burning. But as for the suicide note, I didn't and wouldn't kill anyone for it. It just doesn't suit me, that's all. Well, that's enough for now. I still have work to do, so... I understand. Oh, I have one small favor to ask. My attempted suicide. I'd like for you to keep it a secret. Miss Andrews... If people found out about my weakness, I would sooner choose to die than live. All right, I understand. We'll keep it a secret. Miss Andrews, I guess she's the overthinking type. She probably never says anything without carefully thinking it through first. Thank you for your discretion. Mr. Nick, can I ask you something? What is it? Miss Andrews has been playing with that card in her hand since a little while back. That card? Yeah, I guess she has. Miss Andrews, what is that card you're holding? Huh? Oh, this? I don't quite know. It just suddenly appeared in my handbag. What is it? It looks like a seashell? That's what it looks like, doesn't it? I honestly don't remember owning this card. I wonder where I picked it up from. Her not remembering something clearly? Sounds like it would be a rare occurrence. Well, I must be off. I leave Mr. On Guard in your capable hands. Alright, well that's gonna do it for this episode then. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you can like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.